what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch.
Paul Match
What we gotta
TV.
watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch.
Paul Match
What we gotta
TV.
watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch.
Paul Match
What we gotta
TV.
watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch.
Paul Match
What we
TV.
gotta watch, what we gotta watch.
Yeah, buddy, that's right. Get
Oh,
exposure right now. Holler at the homie Paul Mash, man, for Paul Mash TV. Hit up Paul Mash TV across all social media sites, alright? Who we got next? Got next.
Well, hello there, everybody. It's Paul Mash TV time again. We're glad that you could join us. And we got a great interview coming up in just a moment. Before we do that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. And you're always going to get the latest interviews here on YouTube. If you do that for us, and check out the comment section, because one of the comments will have links to our caps and t-shirts. So we hope you'll do that for us. And don't forget, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central, we're on Roku. If you don't have Roku, go to grindcity.biz, because it's on the Grind City Network. And download the Grind City app on Google Play. And we hope you do that for us as well. And check out us on Facebook, facebook.com/PaulMashTV. Just like the page and inbox us and comment on everything you see. And we'd love to hear from you there. And our email address is paulmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And it's for bands, solo artists, as well as fans. And we'd love to hear from all of you. And for the bands and solo artists, obviously, we'll tell you how to be on the show. And we have an official web address as well. And we'll recap all that at the closing credits at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. In just a moment, we're going to have John Jiggs from Atlanta, Georgia, another talented artist on our show here, and you'll get to hear that interview in just a moment. But here's a quick word from Click Jam. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, everybody, it's interview time again as promised, and with us from Atlanta, Georgia, we have John Jiggs. Thanks for joining us, John Jiggs.
Yeah, what's up, man? Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad to have you today. A question I ask, and obviously everybody has their own answer, but why don't you tell us a little bit about how you decided you want to become an artist? You know, I mean, did you fall into it? I mean, everyone's got their own story, so let's hear your story.
Well, I mean, me personally, music has always been a part of my life since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been infatuated with hip hop culture. You know, even before I decided to rhyme, it was just something I was always into. So, I have an older brother that was a DJ. He grew up in the Bronx, in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. So, he definitely put a lot of knowledge in my head from a very young age. Exposed me to a lot of different things, and I think that had a lot to do with it. And then, just growing up, it's just it really wasn't even like music. It was more like a lifestyle, So, so once it was always something I did for fun. Once I got to be an adult and started having children and things like that, I decided to try to turn it into, like a business, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much what it is, lifestyle, like, from lifestyle to just doing it for fun. And then, ultimately becoming a businessman on top of an artist, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good story. And like I said, since you had family or DJs, I mean, I could definitely tell where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say some of your biggest influences as far as the mainstream world, that influenced you? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of artists that come out of your mind.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I listened to like a lot of Jay-Z, a lot of Tupac, a lot of Biggie, Mobb Deep, Capone Noriega. Trying to think, like a lot of the Queensbridge rap. You know what I mean? That was definitely a big influence. Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and even, like Outkast and UGK, 8 Ball and MJG, you know what I'm saying? Different acts like that, you know, just in 3-6 Mafia, you know what I'm saying? Just like the real authentic, you know what I'm saying? The real authentic stuff, man. I always had a fan for. I always been a fan of artists that were able to capture the mood of where they were from. You know what I'm saying? Like I had never been to, for instance, I had never been to Atlanta, but I could listen to Outkast and kind of get a feeling for what Atlanta was like. You know what I mean? And I think that's really cool. Same thing with Snoop Dogg. You didn't have to. You could listen to Snoop Dogg and you would know what was going on in Long Beach and the West Coast without actually having to go there. You know what I mean? And you know, and I noticed because once I was able to travel to these places, it really did feel like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the mark of a great artist. You know, especially artists from different regions and things like that. And you know, when I talk about Mobb Deep, like that's New York. You can't get any more New York than that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. And of course, you know, he was a legend. You know, Snoop Dogg, and I used to like his music as well. So he's a good person to think about when you think of hip hop music. um, so tell us about where we can find your music. I mean, I'm sure it's on all streaming platforms, but and I know you probably don't
Mm-hmm.
have any physical CDs, but if you do, you can let us know that.
Yeah, like you said, all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, what else is there? There's Google Play, whatever people are using. Also available on Bandcamp, YouTube, etc. You know, it's I got a nice catalog up there. I got about like 5 or 6 projects out. The latest being the Jigg album I just put out a couple of weeks ago. It's doing really well, man. A lot of people are loving a bunch of different songs on the project. So that's really good when I'm pretty much getting people telling me that this is their favorite song. And I've heard that about every single song on the album. So I thought that was really cool. You know what I mean? That everybody kind of is picking their favorites and there's something on there for everybody, which is kind of what I set out to do, you know?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sure everybody will be able to go to those streaming platforms and download John Jigg's music, and I'm sure you'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
And speaking of your music, in just a moment or two, we're going to be watching your music video. Can you tell us the name of it and if there's a story behind it?
Yeah. So the video that we're gonna watch is Gordon Gartrell. So this and the story behind Gordon Gartrell is, you know, I don't know about everybody. I mean, I'm sure most people grew up watching the Cosby Show or at least knew about it or whatever. So there's like this famous episode on the Cosby Show where Theo goes and buys this like $300 shirt and his father makes him take it back because it costs too much. And but he wanted to wear this shirt because he's trying to impress this girl that he likes or whatever in school, and he's supposed to be taking her out on a date. So he takes the shirt back, and he actually ends up paying his older sister Denise to make one that looks like it, because at the time she's taking up sewing as one of her hobbies. So it takes her right up until the last second, like when the girl actually shows up at the house and everything. He gets the shirt and it's totally jacked up. The shirt is all lopsided. The buttons are all missing. I mean, it's really bad. And he's so upset. Like he gets super duper upset. At the end of the day, he ends up wearing the shirt, and the girl that he's trying to impress, she actually ends up loving it. Actually ends up loving the shirt, and he's like, you know, and he tries to take credit for it. And he's like, oh, why do you think I'm wearing it? So I mean, if you listen to my album, there's a bunch of different like little innuendos from the 80s, and I have a song on there called Oprah, and I have a song on there. I have another song called Bill Cosby on there. I have, you know, and just different little innuendos, and this is just things that I remember that stuck in my head from growing up. You know what I mean? Just different little things that I remember. You know, Bill Cosby probably was a big part of a lot of people's childhood, as far as, you know, especially people like me. Like I didn't have a father, so like Bill Cosby was like it. You know what I'm saying? You know, he definitely kind of stepped in that role. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just things like that that I remember. And my album is sprinkled with that throughout. You know what I mean? You're gonna find little things that you'll be like, oh wow, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember that. You know what I mean? But I wanted to kind of mix those things with a little bit of the newer flavor that people are listening to now. You know what I mean? In order to try to grab as many people as possible.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you that too. I said I know she made several references to Bill Cosby show on a
Yeah,
couple of your songs on your album, so I
yeah,
figured you must have been a big fan. But yeah, that episode you were talking about, I do remember though,
yeah, yeah.
and especially when I saw that puffy shirt, and I said, yeah, I kind of remember that episode when I
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
yeah. Of course, I've always liked that Bill Cosby show, so
Definitely.
and
And it also features my man Bubba Rock. You know what I'm saying? He's another artist from Long Island that's doing his thing. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He's on the record with me too. We just got together and we just, we mesh really well on record. So when you'll get a chance to hear it when you check it, when you get a chance to check it out.
Okay. All right, we'll be checking that video out in just a moment here. But before we do, I just wanted to thank you one more time for coming on the show, John. We'd love to
Absolutely.
have you back sometime, and maybe you can come back and plug something else for us sometime.
Oh, that would be great, man. I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, and here's the video right here on Paul Mash TV, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Praying my jargon brings the opposite of rigor mortis. Breathe life into the harvest for the starving artist. Royal blue Jordan 2 with the stitch in orange. Light tree and sightseeing, it's a different forest. Sowing tricks in my lines, I forget the chorus. I let the text squirt, expert, you just a novice. Exalted on every end of the compass. I wasn't supposed to see 25, mission accomplished. Sunroof open in the Volvo. Nice days bringing light rays like Ronaldo. Keep the long nose similar to Gonzo. Let the sham pop, lamb chops and cilantro. The pillars of integrity, digital celebrities. You drown in the misery of your jealousy. .com, check the URL. In the booth, I murder mooks, that's the URL. Pussy, you ride beats, I'm following God's trail. Every competition got the new car smell. Gordon Gartrell, get cream like Carvel. I got 8 million stories and they all for sale. Play the shit, man, your iPhone be type lit. Only slay pussy, that's a tight fit. Priceless, righteous, similar bloodline of my ancestors. Throwing hand gestures, eating what the land left us.
But rock. Hey yo, I'm from a different cloth, going Gartrell. Illustrious as Avalon Apartments at the bar, flow marvelous. It ain't hard to tell. Carmel, Dominican chick, off my hit list. Jigg's my witness. It took a minute to get this. It's all law of physics, attraction, power, flash rap, just like a voucher for cash. I out you with 30s attached, like you gotta wait for half an hour. Cool off, shoes off in the stew while you moolies move for nada. Gossip about my last project. I dropped 5 and 12 months and they all for sale, shipping included. Don't ever say my name when the Lou and the losing. Foolish, can't keep you fools in tune with my music. I used to do it, then I realized niggas was stupid. Silly, tired of being modest. Wearing black for 3 years straight, ain't no love in my city. That nigga Bub is the dilly, you just at the deli. Talking dumb on the daily, the fuck can you tell me? But niggas got 100 stories and they all got my name in them. Like hoes say you losing it cause they ain't winning. But do the math, they lost it already. Never had better to even know better. What would they say different? They said you nice, but that wasn't alright. Nah, cause they was being nice, you just alright. Impressed who? Unimpressed by you niggas my whole life, rock.